Everybody on your feet, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the
Oh yeah, I already have
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. So we are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah.
Here they come.
Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah.
Turn and say hello to someone you don't know.
Charged. Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. How is everybody? Woo! Lord, I love that. You guys look so great from up there. I cannot tell you what a charge it gives us when we see you just in that joy. We know you're releasing it and just here to be loved and just to get connected. So I love it. Thank you. Dr. Joe is on a cruise in Alaska, and we're asking him to bring some cool weather here. Please, please, please. Right? We have Reverend Laura here today to give the good word, the great talk that you're just going to love. It is all about love today, and that you just can't go wrong, as I say. So before we get started, let's say our mission and our vision statement together. Here we go. We are a positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our vision is spiritual awakening and personal growth in a world that works for everyone. Our mission is to help individuals discover the spiritual tools and inner power that has the ability to transform lives and make the world a better place. And so it is. Wow. That's big. Do you know how big that is? It's big. Okay, I am so glad because today God has blessed me. I have 2 announcements, and that's all. Thank you, Spirit. You can demonstrate your good anytime. So first announcement, we are continuing to have the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission book bag drive. So if you have a backpack you want to give or school supplies, there are kids that cannot afford that. And they need us, and we love to give to the community. So you can drop by backpacks, paper, pencils, all that good stuff, crayons, stuff kids need. We have on Sundays the boxes out in the front in the foyer area and outside. And we also have during the week you can drop stuff off at our office as well. So we thank you, and you're doing such good work for those kids that just don't have what we have. So thank you for all you do to help them out. And my last announcement is for those of you that don't know, and I know a lot of you are book addicts and Amazon.com addicts. You cannot hide from us. And but what you can do for our center is if you go on to Amazon and go to Smile, that allows you to designate Centers for Spiritual Living Palm Desert to get 5% of whatever your purchase is. So and it's really easy. All you do is you go and register your name and all that stuff, and then it becomes like your icon that you go to every time you order. So you don't have to keep registering. Your You're already there. You're already linked into us, and it helps our center so much to get 5%. And I know because of all the spending that's going out there, we're going to get a lot of money, so thank you. All right, I am done for now. I'm going to turn it over to Jerry Lynn to introduce our guest artist. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. You do such a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. She's so sparkly. Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful day so far. We are. We've been rocking and rolling since 7:30 this morning, and we're going to keep going until they kick us out. We are so blessed here at this center. We get the most amazing entertainers and artists that come through our doors, and today is no exception. We have this gentleman. He's one of my favorites. I've had the pleasure of working with him a couple times now, and I just adore his music. He writes incredible music. Today, you can get this CD. It's called Possibilities. He's going to have it in the lobby afterwards, so please don't walk by. At least stop and say hello if you're not going to get a CD, but I really think you should have this because it's phenomenal. In fact, you're going to get 2 samples today. So would you put your hands together, please, for Harold Payne? It's a different kind of pain.
A positive pain. I hope you know how blessed you are with this incredible group here. I play a different church every Sunday, and this is one of the all-time best, and she is the best music director around.
Yeah. I'll pay you later.
You turn the news on, you get your blues on from all the negativity. It's hard to wrap yourself around what's going down on TV. You can stress it, second guess it. You can think about it way too hard, or you can move the conversation from your head to your heart. Sometimes it's a matter of just letting go and holding on to the one thing we know. Love wins, love wins. That's where the circle of life begins. It's the one simple lesson we're learning again and again. Love wins. We all matter. It doesn't matter if we're on one side or the other, as long as we find a way to get along with one another. We can agree to disagree, or maybe even realize that you see another point of view when you look through someone else's eyes. And sometimes it's as easy as just letting go and holding on to the one thing we know. Love wins, love wins. That's where the circle of life begins. It's the one simple lesson we're learning again and again. Love wins whenever you give it a chance. It is the one hope that everyone has to build a better world for us all. Love wins, love wins. That's where the circle of life begins. It's the one simple lesson we're learning again and again. Love wins. That's where it all begins. Love wins. We learn it again and again. Love wins. Yeah, yeah. Love wins. Love is a lesson. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love wins. That's where it all begins. Yeah. Love wins. Oh, love wins.
Harold Payne, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harold. I was thinking that should be our theme of every week's talk. Love wins, right? That was beautiful. So, Dr. Joe's in Alaska, and I know it's rough. It's rough. Yeah, so sad for him. I'm sure he's really feeling sorry for us in this heat and thinking about us. If he's even up yet, we don't know. But anyway, that's okay. We're going to send our love to Alaska, and I'm sure he's sending love to us too. So this is a time that we surrender. We just let go anything that's bothering you, that's been on your mind. You know, there's nothing you can do about it here, but the most important thing you can do is let it go and connect with that divinity that's within you. So let's just take a deep breath in, and let's just go within.
Oh, to Spirit, I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will ever love and trust You in Your presence daily. Spirit, I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You, I am power divine. I surrender. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all.
I invite you to join me in consciousness, coming together in our oneness, in our humanity, in our soul, in the one mind and heart of God, knowing that there is only one power, one presence, one source of all life, and that is Spirit. Spirit is that energy, that aliveness, that current of life that is within all mankind. It is that which unceasingly gives of itself to us so that we can thrive, so that we can live life on our terms in concert with the One. And so as I know that that one life is my life, that it expresses in, as, and through me, by means of me. It is the song that is sung through my soul that allows me to rise up and be the divine expression of all that Spirit is. And so as I know this is my truth, I know it is everyone's truth in this room and in this world, because we are all expressions of the divine. And we are all valuable, worthwhile people because we have a unique energy to us, a unique energy, individual to each and every one of us. And every one of us is important for this symphony of life that we live in. And so I know that today is a day to feel love, to be love, to express love without conditions, to be compassion in action, and to look differently at all beings, letting go of judgment, letting go of thinking we know it all, and surrendering to the one mind of God to bring our awareness into alignment to what is really true and real. That we are all here on our journeys and we all deserve love. We all deserve to be understood. We all deserve compassion. And so that is ours to give today and every day. And so I am so grateful to be here in this sacred space where God is, opening up to the wisdom of the universe as it is channeled through Reverend Laura and our wonderful musicians, knowing that this is the time to just dive deep into spirit, into the love that is boundless, that is our divine inheritance. And I'm ever so grateful that Dr. Joe provides us with his wisdom and guidance and leadership. He provides us with a place to be safe, to be in alignment with God, to open up ourselves to be nourished in a way that we aren't always nourished, where we can bring God into our hearts and our souls and take it into our weeks so that we can have a higher awareness of life, who we are, and how God is acting in everything that we do. And so I'm grateful for the awarenesses that are coming to life for all of us, seeing God in action within ourselves and everything that is. And so knowing that all is unfolding with grace and ease, I am so grateful to know that and to see it and be the light and love of God that we all have the ability to be here, now, and always. And so with that said, I'm grateful to see God at work here in all of us. And so knowing this is complete, with faith and confidence, I release my word into that perfect law of mind, knowing that it returns fulfilled, pressed down, and overflowing, and I am grateful. That is the truth. And so with that said, I invite you to join me as we say together, and so it is. Amen.
I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all.
So let us just take in a deep breath, breathe in that spirit of life, that life force. And then gently come back into the room and open your eyes when you're ready.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
May the cool breeze from Alaska wash over us here as a rising tide across the desert with maximum effect and minimum effort. Right here, right now, we are all connected somehow. Even a whisper in the dark becomes a prayer that reaches out and touches your heart. A rising tide lifts us all. Every drop of water helps to keep the flow. When you make a ripple in the river of life, we will all be lifted by the rising tide. We all have dreams of a world where we can live in peace. Each act of kindness builds a bridge that leads it to the common ground between our differences. A rising tide lifts us all. Every drop of water helps to keep the flow. When you make a ripple in the river of life, we will all be lifted, lifted by the rising tide. I'm holding on to what I know that I can be. In a sea of possibility, a rising tide lifts us all. Every drop of water helps to keep the flow. When you make a ripple in the river of life, we will all be lifted, lifted by the rising tide. It's gonna lift us up. Every drop of water helps to keep the flow. When you make a ripple in the river of life, we will all be lifted, lifted by the rising tide. Lifted by the rising tide. Oh, lifted by the rising tide. We're gonna be lifted. I can feel that cool breeze blowing. Yeah, lifted by the rising tide. Lifted by the rising tide. Lifted by the rising tide.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
Campaign.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Harold. That was wonderful. Both of those songs were so perfect, so perfect. So we're going to raise that tide, right? We're going to be on jet skis going down that river. That's what we do here. So good morning, everyone. And good morning to all of you that are live streaming. We welcome you all. And I want to tell our live streamers, we have a new way of doing things now. And it's so wonderful to see how you've all stepped up to help support the center in such a beautiful way. So I just wanted to acknowledge you and thank you. So August's theme is a world that works for everyone, which is really what our whole organization, that is our mission, is. Our vision is to see a world that works for everyone. And today's topic is compassion in action. And I'm looking at that title, I'm going, really? I looked at it and I said, I think Dr. Joe goes through the titles and says, I don't want to do that one. I think I'll go on vacation that week and leave Reverend Laura with that one. Because I immediately thought of like Mother Teresa, and I thought, wow, it'd be nice if we're all that, but that's kind of a big thing. And so, but we'll see what happens. So this is our affirmation. So let's say it together, please. Today I celebrate my oneness with all of life. I bring compassion into action in this day, and love becomes my way. And that's the most important part of that. Love becomes my way. So this is from Wikipedia. Compassion motivates people to go out of their way to help the physical, spiritual, and emotional hurts and pains of another. So compassion everything always boils down to love, but compassion is actually that love in action. It's like, what can I do to make a difference in the world through my love, through my compassion? So life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. And so what is it that you notice about life? What is it that you are constantly thinking? So if you are in this state of compassion and giving of that love, we don't do these things thinking, what's in it for me? We do it because we have this love in our heart, and we know that what we give to one, we give to another. And then it gets reflected back to us. It's that compassion. It's that love, that seeing the oneness, seeing our connection, seeing that God in every person. That is our oneness. We forget that. We think it's you and it's me, but it's really the we. It's the us. And so when you help another, you help yourself. We are all one within the one. We are all connected. The universal nature of God's love does not exclude anyone. So when we see somebody or when we're with somebody out of this place of love, it is that connection. It is that knowing that we are one, that what you do to one, you do to another. And so when I'm going through this, I'm thinking, okay, where are we going to go with this? Because, yeah, we can look around the world and we can see there's people starving. We have in our own community, we have homeless. We have people that are struggling. And it can be overwhelming. We think, okay, I do have compassion, but I can't do it all. And that's true. We can't do it all. But it's that ripple effect. It's that causing that tidal wave, that wave in that river of life. Each one of us can do our part to make that difference. There's that resonance that goes out into the field with our energy. If we're looking and we're being negative and we're being judgmental, we are empowering what we see and what we're determining. In my Do You Quantum Think, we talk about it's not an either-or world. It's an and both. So when we're talking to our friends or we're being with people or we're hearing, like the first song, negative news, we have to know that it's not just one way, it's both ways. There's that view and there's this other view, but they're both valid views, and we have to learn to have compassion for people that have different views than we do. So let's say our affirmation together, please. Today I celebrate my oneness with all of life. I bring compassion into action in this day, and love becomes my way. So this is a quote from Ernest Holmes. Now, when I read this, I want you to realize this was probably written in the 30s or 40s, and it's still so valid for today. If the philosophy of Christianity were lived, wars would cease, unhappiness would cease, economic problems would be solved, poverty would be wiped from the face of the earth, and man's inhumanity would be transmuted into a spirit of mutual helpfulness. Okay, we're still struggling with this. I don't know if you've noticed. That's part of the illusion, I know. I have to wipe out that illusion. But you know, it's the great master teacher, Jesus, he was all about compassion. And he was definitely compassion in action. You know, and he was constantly telling us, you know, love thy neighbor as thyself. What you do to one, you do to me. And that's what we have to remember. When we see somebody that they're having struggles, we have to have compassion. We need to not go into judgment about them and be that love. But for the grace of God, there go I. You know, and so we need to see with different eyes, and we need to be helpful. You know, when we're talking about Christianity, if Christianity were lived, you know, people will ask us, well, are you a Christian faith-based, you know? And so the thing is, I believe we are Christian in that we do believe in the teachings of Jesus, the master teacher, but we live them. At least that's our goal. We don't, maybe I'm not 100% of the time, but that is what we strive for. And it doesn't make any religion bad or right or whatever, but it's those teachings of the Master Jesus and all the great teachers. It's about having compassion, seeing the God in everyone, and being the best person, and being that love, and acknowledging that beautiful spirit. So when I'm going, okay, what am I going to tell them? I mean, they're not all going to go out and be Mother Teresa or, you know, something, but what can we do on a daily level that's compassionate? And so got on Google, and I Googled compassion in action, and this came up, 15 ways to spread kindness. And this was by the Chopra Center. And I thought, wow, these are simple but powerful things that we can all do. So we're going to talk about them. Number one, offer your full attention to someone. When you're with somebody, really be with them. You know, don't be on your cell phone going, yeah, oh, wow, yeah, oh, oh, yeah, No, really be with them. Really open your heart and be with them. Two, express sincere gratitude to a friend. You know, just that letting them know from your heart that you really appreciate them in your life and that they're important to you. That is being compassionate. That is being love. And that's what this is all about. Take a photo. These are just simple things. Take a photo of something beautiful and text it to someone in your life just so that they know that you were thinking about them. Yeah, it's wonderful to post things on Facebook so the world can see. But that personal touch of just saying, hey, look at this. I just saw this and I wanted you to see it and share it with you. Detach from technology for 1 hour and look for opportunities to be helpful. I'm so proud of you. You guys aren't looking at Facebook right now. You're actually present and being here. Thank you. I appreciate all of you for that. But really, we go to a restaurant, we're on, if we're by ourselves, we're on our cell phone, we're looking at Facebook, we're looking at whatever. But look around, smile at the people in the restaurant. Open a door for somebody. These are just small little things that we can do. Number 5, arm yourself with a $5 bill in your pocket. So if you see somebody that's homeless and they need money, have it ready to share with them. It was so funny when I wrote this, I had just last week been going somewhere, and I'm assuming he's homeless. I believe he has some mental issues too, because I've seen him around Palm Desert for several years. And I was going in somewhere, and he said, ma'am, could you just spare $1? I really need $1. It would really help me. And I reached in. I had $1. I gave him 5. And he goes, thank you. And I was telling Ryan, I go, oh, so I did what already I'm doing. And my son said to me, he goes, but Mom, he said, did you stop and talk to him and ask him what's going on in his life? He said, Mom, you're a minister. You could have prayed with him. But you might have found out maybe more ways that you could help him, even beyond the money. And I'm like, wow, that was a beautiful lesson for me, to take that time. And why are you, what's going on in your life that, but for the grace of God, would you want that job? Standing there with that sign, that's the only way. Bless them. That is, and it's not about feeling sorry. It's about knowing that is a part of you that's doing this, and that there's a part of you that needs this help and this love and this compassion. And I thought, boy, and that was a big lesson for me, and I appreciate my son for saying that. So let us say this together today. Today I celebrate my oneness with all of life. I bring compassion into action in this day, and love becomes my way. Number 6, offer someone the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes people will say things maybe flippant, you might think, wow, or they're late, or they do things, but you don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know maybe what they just got a diagnosis or something. I don't know why I keep clicking. And so I want to share something. Hopefully Dr. Joe's not watching. I wasn't here last week. Maybe you noticed, I don't know. But I was down with my family, and I was very blessed. But I heard Dr. Joe, I heard there was some ruffled feathers last week because Dr. Joe mentioned the thing about how the money's down and the movie, people go to the movie and then they don't, And so I just want you to understand a couple of things. Number 1, yes, the money is way down. But people say to me, Reverend Laura, how come you don't have your own church? Because you don't understand the responsibility of a pastor of this church. All right, so when he sees the money down, number one, he's thinking, well, am I not doing a good job? Are they not, am I not helping them? Number one, but even more important than that is he has a sense of responsibility he feels for the upkeep of the center, for the people that we hire to do the office, the staff, and so he feels that pressure. And he's not talking to those of you that are really giving what you can give. He's not talking to you. We appreciate that. He appreciates it. He's talking to the ones that are sitting here that are doing quite well and they're throwing $2 in the basket or $5. Those are the ones. He's wanting them to go within and knowing that this is a spiritual practice. So please understand that, not get upset with him or whatever, that he's doing it because he feels such a strong responsibility for that. And so that goes with anybody in your life that maybe says something to you or criticizes or says something that offends you. You don't know where they're coming from. Send them love in those situations. Number 7, bring back snail mail and send a letter of encouragement. We have gotten out of the habit, right, of just sending a little note just to tell somebody you appreciate them, you're thinking about them. It means so much. We're so easy just to text or send an email. And yeah, that's nice to get to. That's better than nothing. But there's something about taking the time of handwriting and putting a stamp, mailing it. And so let's practice that a little bit more. That's so important. I know my son, when he would go out on interviews, he would I taught him to send a handwritten thank you note. And I know in a couple of his interviews, people were like, oh my God, they didn't know people still did that. So that's just something that's a beautiful, it means you took the time, you thought of them, and you did it. Greet a stranger with a smile and a kind word. Just to see the people, when you're in the market or, I always talk to the cashier or just people you're walking down the aisle, just to look at them in the eye and say, hi, It's just to be seen and to send that love. That is what we are here for. We are all part of this family called humanity. So let's acknowledge each other in a way. Let us see each other. See the uniqueness around this room even. We all look so different, but we are all part of the whole. We are all part of that love. Practice compassionate listening. When somebody comes with you with a challenge that they're going through, listen, don't be interrupted. I'm really bad at that. This is when I need to work. Listen with your heart to what they're going through. Be with them. Let them talk. Let them tell you what's going on. It's so important. Practice self-compassion and tend to your own suffering. All right? So don't get so busy with taking care of other people that you don't sit with yourself in that quietness, in that breathe in, feel the tension. Where is there tension in your life? Send that part of yourself, that love and compassion, knowing that you are always being taken care of. But nurture yourself. Don't ignore yourself. So that's all on those. So let's do our affirmation. Today I celebrate my oneness with all of life. I bring compassion into action in this day, and love becomes my way. Have compassion for our planet. Do your recycling. If you're walking down the street and you see trash, pick it up. Pick it up. Don't throw trash, Think of the planet as a living entity because it is. And so honor her. Honor it and, don't waste water. Brushing your teeth, don't just let the water go. Honor it. Really send your love to our planet. It needs our love too. Compliment a colleague or loved one. All right, so here's the thing. There have been studies on there. There's a ratio. For employees, it has to be 3 compliments to any criticism if you're an employee. So if you work for somebody, or they work for you, you have people compliment them 3 times. You notice, are you complimenting them more or are they criticizing them more? And then your loved ones. The ratio is 5 to 1. All right? So you've got to give 5 compliments for every criticism that you give to somebody. And sometimes it seems like it's the other way around, doesn't it, in our relationships? But it's so important for that. And just, just to say a compliment to somebody at work. I know we've had our office manager for over 25 years, the same employee. And the reason, and I believe it because when I started my business, one of the reasons I was in banking, and one of the reasons I got out, I didn't like the way the managers were treating me and talking down, and they were, just unconscious. And I said, I'm going to start my own business someday. And when I do, I'm going to treat my employees the way I want to be treated. Because in a business, if you're business owners, that everybody is important. Because if one person messes up, you all look bad. So you want to compliment people for the great things that they do, the loyalty that they have, put yourself in their shoes or vice versa. So, and definitely with loved ones, I never, ever, when I'm with my family, my sister, whoever it is, if I'm on the phone with them, my kids are trained now that we always say, I love you. And really mean it, because you never know when that could be the last time you speak to somebody. And I want them to know that the last thing I said to them was that I loved them and I meant it. Why am I doing this? Is it my hair? All right. So set an intention to treat everyone with kindness today. So really, now that could be difficult. Well, I guess they all could be difficult, but that could be challenging, right? Because there are sometimes that people just do things that just irritate you and say things that are just irritating. But if we can just sit there with that intention that this, if they're irritating you, let me just tell you, you called them in, you wrote the script, and they're showing you something within yourself that you need to look at and acknowledge and heal. It wouldn't irritate you if you weren't just like them, but maybe the reverse or whatever. So it's an opportunity for you to practice love in all situations. Lord, I'm going to just take this off and get the handheld. Because, and then we can hear things, especially in politics. Okay, that's it. Yes, I don't have compassion for that right now. I have compassion for all of you so that you don't have to hear that clicking. All right? Because I love you all so much. This may be the last time you see me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no chance. So if we start our day setting an intention to be kind to everyone, now, I'm not saying the whole day is going to go perfect, okay? But it could. And the more you practice it, what you're going to start noticing is the more wonderful things you're going to see. So when we practice love and we practice compassion in our life and seeing people and listening to people, what happens is our lives starts to change. And we start experiencing more love because everything is smoke and mirrors, people. I want you to know that this whole thing of life is smoke and mirrors. And what you're bringing into your life or what's going on in your life, you've brought it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. But the thing is, it's all the way you look at it. If you could look at everything as an opportunity for me to, who am I in relationship to this situation? Who am I in relation to this person? And love them because they're seeing the world differently than you maybe. But that's okay. They are still an aspect of God. Remember, God doesn't know good and bad. God, the only ones that label things It's us humans. We're the ones labeling things bad or good or evil or whatever. But it's all our choice. This is what life is all about. It's our opportunity to choose who we are going to be. So set that intention every day to treat everyone with kindness. If you mess up, then that's okay. You start again. That's all right. But you're at least, what's important is the key to this is that you are thinking it and you are working on that, and you're conscious that you are working on that. Meet your neighbors, all right? I mean, I know I live in a development, and half my neighbors aren't even here right now because it's summertime. But when you open your garage door and you see somebody walk by or whatever, just say hi. You know, when you wave at somebody, you are sending the light of God to them. That is the energy coming through you. It's a wonderful thing to do, just to wave and say hi, you know, and just stop and say, you know, know your neighbors that live around you, because you never know when you might need a cup of sugar, right? And you'll know where to go. Oh, Mary knows me. I'll go ask Mary. And the last one, drive with patience. Okay, let's reduce road rage. Oh, come on, yeah. You know, you don't know that person that just cut you off or is speeding or maybe is going slow. You don't know what's going on in their life. And so that's a beautiful way. Why start off your day, especially if you're going to work and you're rushing to work and somebody's cutting you off? Why start your day in that state of mind? You know, just breathe and bless them on their way, you know, and just hope they have a safe journey with the way they're driving. So I know God's with them. I hope. And so these are just little steps that we can do each day to make a difference in a little way. And is this going to cure everything in the world? Yeah, it will, eventually. Eventually, it will have that ripple effect. It will raise the tide. It will raise that water by what we do in those little ways. It's so important. We think it's not a big deal, but they are big deals. They are really big deals to see each person and to know there's nothing worse than somebody just ignoring you, and you know they know you or whatever. But really to see people look at the beauty look around this room and the diversity and the beauty, and this is all part of that oneness. We are all part of this universe. Each one of us is special, unique, and we are loved. And we came here to remind each other of that. And so the more we can be in that compassion, the better it is for the whole world. So here's a caution. Some side effects of compassion may include lifted spirits, a feeling of connection to those around you, greater mindfulness, and reduced depression. That's just a warning. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's be known that when we're out in the world, people go, wow. You know, what is it about you? You are always so kind, so thoughtful. And you say, well, it's that center down in Palm Desert on the corner of Portola and Shadow Mountain. It just changed my life. And I just see the divinity in you, and I know the truth of who you are, and I know the truth of who I am. And there's nothing bad, there's nothing different. We are all one. And we are one in this planet. We are family. And so we are that divine love. And so we want to go out in the world and be this. So let's say this with conviction. Today I celebrate my oneness with all of life. I bring compassion into action in this day, and love becomes my way. And so it is. Thank you.
God, I feel so good now, don't you? I'm ready to go love and be kind and do great things for people. This is the part of our service where we do our offertory, so I would like to ask the ushers to come forward, and if you would prepare your love offering. And those of you who are streaming, you can text your tithe or your offering to us, and we appreciate having you with us today and getting into our new system of doing things, because it's bringing a lot of good to our center. You know, we appreciate anything that you can give. I know that some of you have more than others, but anything you give is truly appreciated, and I never want anybody to feel like you're not giving enough, because you're here and giving what you can, and we love that. And anything that you give goes to good work in our community. It allows our center to thrive. It allows us to do more for you and for this whole world, to bring about that harmony, love, and joy that we know is our divine birthright to have everywhere. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. Let's do our prayer. Let's say together, I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Thank you. Thank you. Let us bless this money, because it is going far and wide, and it is coming back to you to bless your life. So let us say together, this collective offering is Spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, including my own. And so it is. Thank you, Steve. Okay, if there is anybody here for the first time, I invite you to please stand up, because we would like to give you a gift. You do not have to talk, just stand. Thank you. I know that gets them up. There we go. There's someone back there too. We welcome you to our spiritual center. This is a place that is so wonderful and open-minded and open-hearted, and we would love for you to join our spiritual community. You've been given a CD case with some information about our center, and if you stop at the desk outside in the foyer, we'll give you a CD of one of Dr. Joe's talks, which will give you a taste for what he's like if you haven't experienced him before. So thank you. And following the service, we have our practitioners over in the Om Room, which is just right across the way, and they are there for prayer. They will pray for you no matter what you're going through, whether you are walking through a challenge, or if you've got something really good that's starting to bubble up, they will be there to bless it and bring it in. So they're there for you, and it only takes a minute to change your life. Count on that. We've got a nice calendar for the week. We've got Reverend Laura's class on Tuesday night. We've got our Alzheimer's support group on Wednesday. Thursday, we've got my Sacred Circle in the morning, and Michael and I are resuming his class Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. We've got a wonderful AA meeting on Fridays at 7 p.m., and Saturday, we've got Reverend Irma, who leads a beautiful meditation at 10 a.m. So there's still lots to do even in this summer. Can't wait to see what happens in the fall when we're all back. I want to thank everybody today on behalf of the Center for being here today and being a part of this wonderful, growing, thriving spiritual community. It is a wonderful place to be. And I want to thank all of the hearts and hands that come into play that you don't see. We've got the band, Jerry Lynn, and our Harold, who is here today. By the way, he does have music on your way out right in the lobby area. He has CDs. I'd like to thank Elizabeth and Steve and Reverend Laura and Julie, and I think I've said everybody. That's the office staff. William and the guys in the back who do all this stuff behind the scenes that you don't even know what they're doing back there. They make it so easy. I especially want to thank Dr. Joe, who creates a sacred space for us to pray and grow ourselves and our consciousness. And he is the leader that does things you don't even know for us. So we thank him. And I also want to thank the practitioners and ministers who are always holding the high watch for you guys in the center and blessing all of you, and you don't even know it. So I want to thank them, and they are special to my heart. So without further ado, it is time to pray. So I invite you to just close your eyes and join me in our spiritual connection that we know runs deep. Knowing that there is only the one life of God that we have our life in. Everything else is not real. Everything else is smoke and mirrors, as Reverend Laura reminds us. And so today is a day where we get to tune into love and only love, and see how that we are vessels of love when we push away all the other stuff that really isn't the truth of who we are. We dive deep. We dive into the center of our soul and open ourselves up to that vast, endless resource of divine love that flows strongly within us. It never stops. And so we take that love into the world this week by acting kind, by being compassionate, by not being judgmental and hard on people, by being the presence of love that we were born to be, knowing that when we walk that walk, we are doing the work of God. And that power and that presence comes back to us with love when we keep our eyes open to the divinity that is within every heart and soul that walks this earth. And so I am grateful to know that this week we receive blessings galore, because we are being blessings to others. And we just open ourselves up to the beauty and the power and the abundance of the universe that truly is our divine right to have, and to have it overflowing in our lives. To experience perfect health and wellness and joy and creativity, loving relationships, and all the abundance that our minds can wrap ourselves around to have, because we can have it all. And so knowing that everything is unfolding through the divine harmony of the universe that runs every single thing within us and in the life outside of ourselves, and tuning into that and letting everything else go, I am knowing we are creating a world that works for everybody. And so knowing this is complete and that we are ready to step into our day with a light heart, with love in our eyes, and with truth in our souls, I let go, I let it be, as we say together. And so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, and thank you for joining us today.